Hello and thank you for joining us as we conclude our insulation project, a process that spanned several weeks.
I have nothing to say.
We are excited to share with you the steps we took, the material we chose, and why we opted for a combination of Rockwool, rigid foam board, and Sealtech over spray foam insulation. Our goal was to achieve maximum energy efficiency while being mindful of the costs. There is a lot of science and a lot of information about how to insulate a roof, and it can be very expensive. We have accomplished a R65 at a significantly lower cost of $4,000 compared to other options that would have cost us between $5,000 to $12,500. I'm going to break down the cost towards to the end of the video. Our roof has a little over 600 square feet of space that is supported by 2x12 rafters at 24 inches apart. We decided to have Unvented Cathedral ceiling, and we had featured the steps we took previously in two other videos. Our insulation installation process began with applying a layer of 2-inch rigid foam board to the roof decking. We secure it using PL300 glue and wires, allowing it to cure for 2 days. This ensured that the spray foam insulation used for sealing the gaps wouldn't dislodge the boards. After the curing time, we cleaned the excess glue and applied a second layer of rigid foam board, repeating the curing process. After sealing the gaps with spray foam and cleaning the excess again, we installed the 8-inch Rockwool insulation supported by wires. And of course, that 8-inch insulation actually is shorter. As we mentioned before, we wanted to have our insulation before the last year's cold setting in. We are looking for Rockwool because we found the properties are better for our region than other kind of insulations, and unfortunately that was in short supply. The first possible delivery of it could have been in March 2024, but that wasn't for sure. After a lot of search, we found what we needed in January 2024, 15 hours away. The trip was well worth it. We scored the insulation for less than half the price, even after factoring in the travel cost and the trailer rental. Now we are finally at the last phase of insulating our roof by applying Sealtech, a vapor barrier and a fire retardant that needs a little bit of gap between the previous layer and itself to be able to accomplish an R15. As always, attention to the details is a priority for Michael. Some other people would prefer to staple the Sealtech to the rafters. My husband chose not to do so because he liked to use the zip tape, avoiding to have extra holes through the vapor barrier. If you are following us, you know that we are using it in a lot of projects. We started using it for the OSB siding because we felt that was necessarily to seal the gaps in between the OSBs. This was actually a good thing, and we recommend it to everyone who's building their own home. It's well worth it to take steps to prevent seepage of air in between the OSBs. We are building our own home, And despite having no prior experience, we're learning as we go, experimenting with different approaches and figuring things out through trial and error. Fortunately, we haven't had any major setbacks yet, but there are definitely things we could have done better. It's all part of the process, and we're embracing the opportunity to learn and improve while spending a lot of time together. We went for a stroll through the neighborhood because we wanted to send positive vibes to one of our neighbors. Winter has started with a big snowfall, and now we are surveying what has happened and what is left in our forest. A lot of our trees are bowing down, looking for help, but it's nothing we can do. Battlefield here. This was the heaviest snowfall that have been seen around. Even the people who have been born and raised here said that it was too much for such a short time. Everywhere. Whew. This storm did so much damage. Yeah, we cannot cross. Yeah, wow, look at above your head. Holy moly. We have a huge arch now. Oh. Yeah. Another one here. I can't believe it how bad it is.
That's also.
Yeah.
Where is the part of it?
I didn't want firewood. I wanted the trees. Wow, be careful above. It's another one on the left. Wow, it's so bad. Yeah, I see. You got a porch.
Some snapped. Good.
Yeah,
Now we try to help
it's a mess.
So we are almost done with the roof insulation. You see, so the two layers of styrofoam, that's giving us already 20R. The walls, they are 23. So I will not have any problem with condensation and all that, because if it's a problem there, it should be a problem here too on the walls. And outside it's 20 degrees. I touch the foam with the hand. You don't feel any cold, nothing coming from the roof. That's true. Also, we have snow on the roof, so that's extra insulation, but I think it will not be any problem. And I'm almost done. It's just above the stairs, and it's a little bit dangerous and slow. But then everything's gonna look exactly like you see the aluminum. I call bubble foil. It's not really bubble foil, but it's like that. And theoretically, I don't need any more vapor barrier, because this is acting as a vapor barrier too. But I will still install it because be sure that no air is gonna go up, no humidity, no nothing. And I'm gonna have another layer of vapor barrier. I still have to insulate the
Ridge beam.
ridge beam, because it's not done yet, and I'm gonna have to add a little bit of OSB, because the way that it's shaped will be easier for me to install the wood ceiling. And I'm really happy. It looks good. The good part is yesterday I did the last fire around 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. So by 10 it was done. And I lost in a house 11 degrees for 12 hours, so less than a degree an hour. But it's still, the door has a small gap because the rubber insulation went off, so I have to buy that, so the air is flowing a little bit there. And the basement doesn't have yet the door, so the air is flowing up. Of course it's sucking the air, but I'm happy. I think we're gonna be okay for the future. I think a small fire once a day or twice a day will secure the heat inside, in case that it's no power, no nothing. So that's gonna be good, and I'm happy. So you can use staples to put a vapor barrier and also this insulation, but I didn't want to have any holes in it. And I pay a little bit more for the Z-tape, and I use every line of insulation, the aluminum one, it's fixed by the studs and will go nowhere, like you see. It's better than using the staples. And also for the vapor barrier on the wall, I use the staples, but wherever I use a staple, I'm gonna cover with the tape, because I don't want to have any moisture going in the wall. So on the ceiling we're gonna have wood, tongue and groove, and you can use nails to stick it to the rafters, or screws. Of course not this one, because it's too big. I'm gonna need something smaller. So it's gonna take a lot of time, because basically I'm gonna have to drill a hole in a wood, and then I'm gonna have to use a screw. The reason is because you see the bubble foil has a little bit of thickness, and when you're gonna put the wood, if you nail it with a nail gun, some places will go deeper a little bit, some others less, and you don't have a control. So I'm gonna use a screw, and it's gonna go in, and like you see, when you are screwing, it's perfect going in, and really still do a good job insulating the place. And also I have the Z-tape, and the Z-tape, it's the same. It's gonna go around the screw, and the hole I'm gonna make it smaller, and when it's gonna go around inside in a wood on both sides, it's gonna stay sealed. Hopefully I'm gonna have a smooth straight ceiling.
We can finally say that the entire house is insulated. My husband is working right now on the vapor barrier. He started placing the vapor barrier on the wall. The Sealtech radiant vapor barrier is already on, and we don't need to put any more vapor barrier because that's what it is. It's a vapor barrier. But my husband wants to install a vapor barrier too. Then we have two vapor barriers on the ceiling. And in between the rafters, we are having this. First is the roof decking. We have 4 inches of rigid insulation. Then we have 7.5 inches of Rockwool. And then we have a little bit of gap. It's between 1/2 inch and to 1 inch. And then we have this Sealtech insulation with the middle core. This has an R value of 15 when you leave a gap in between. This has an R value of 30, and this total of R value of 20. Totally, we have an R65 in our attic. In our region, the minimum required insulation under the roof decking is R49. We have achieved an impressive R65 insulation rating for our home in 2x12 rafters. Here I highlighted what we spent for the insulation of our Unvented Cathedral ceiling only. Everything else is a comparison of what would have cost us to do different versions of closed cell insulation and what we have, or we could have done the whole roof with the closed cell insulation, but you can tell that could have been the most expensive thing, yet saving the time. Well, the problem for us was not the time, then we didn't choose this option. Our closer little town had the Christmas parade in honor of Christmas, of course, and I'll let you enjoy the images when I'm going to talk about the boring part of why we chose the insulation. They're tossing with candles. Our insulation choice offers several advantages over spray foam insulation. Not only it is significantly more budget friendly, but it also provides exceptional thermal performance and energy savings with its R65 rating, exceeding the minimum required R49 in our region.
You look like Russians?
No! Additionally, our insulation is a healthier option, containing no harsh chemicals and no off-gas over time. It also has a longer lifespan and a minimal risk of settling or degradation, plus it's resistant to rodents, insects, and water. Another benefit is that it didn't require special equipment for installation. The only trade-off is that spray foam would have been faster to install. We think that our insulation choice makes it a smart decision for our home. Hi guys! As they're saying, good things are coming in small packages. This is our little close by town, and we love it. Another milestone has been checked off. What a magical way to celebrate completing our roof and house insulation, surrounded by joy and cheer at the Christmas parade. I felt like the entire town was celebrating with us. Very Christmassy. Thank you for watching, and if you have questions, you can put them down in the comments. Also, you can find us on Facebook at Larchline.